you know, they're very interesting. So do you guys know what the theme is? What is the theme of tonight's class? They're very interesting. So do you guys know what the theme is? Vini, tô ouvindo minha voz aí. What is the theme of tonight's class?
I think.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
No problem. It's all right.
There you go.
I think it's human resources.
Yes, human resources. Yes, that's it. That's exactly it. So just wait for my voice to. Human resources. Yes, that's.
Now I solved it.
That's exactly it. So
now I've solved it. Now it's solved.
You sure?
Yeah. My computer's.
Não, ainda tô ouvindo você falando now I solved it.
Now it's solved.
You sure?
I don't know, Ivan, because my computer is not sharing the audio any longer. So
tira o som do computador at all.
I don't know, Ivan, because I'm leaving the call. Take care. We talk soon. Bye.
Okay, but all right.
Have a good class. Pra galera do YouTube que tá vendo.
Não, peraí, Vini. O problema era aqui.
Okay.
The problem was here. I'm sorry. All right, leave it the way it is.
You owe me an apology.
No problem. Yeah, I do. I'm sorry. Done.
Galera que tá vendo no YouTube tá um pouco descontextualizado, um pouco perdido. Hoje, segunda-feira, dia 18, estão abertas as matrículas para o Hour em inglês profissional, que é o braço de inglês para trabalho do Hour. Então, é onde a gente aprende inglês para você usar no mundo corporativo, para você passar nas suas entrevistas em inglês, para você usar no ambiente de trabalho, em reuniões, em vendas, apresentações de projetos, em chamadas, em situações importantes assim, ou para atender clientes de fora. Excelente para você melhorar o seu currículo, ser um profissional mais valioso, para você ser um profissional mais competente. Esse conhecimento de inglês profissional é essencial. E a gente tem um treinamento completo de inglês profissional, uma aba inteira do Hour, uma plataforma inteira do Hour separada, só para falar de inglês para trabalho, que está de matrículas abertas hoje. Então, tô que a galera que está na chamada fica... Nossa, ele está falando com a gente como se estivesse falando com outras pessoas, mas eu estou realmente neste momento. O primeiro link na descrição, logo abaixo desse vídeo do YouTube, é para vocês se inscreverem no inglês profissional, tá bom? Vai ser a última vez esse ano que a gente vai fazer isso. Depois, só lá para... Não é nem no começo do ano que vem, um pouco para frente do ano que vem ainda, que a gente vai abrir novamente vagas pro Hour em inglês profissional, para você ter acesso a esse grupo e estar toda semana aprimorando o seu trabalho em inglês. Então, o melhor momento para vocês entrarem no Hour em inglês profissional é agora, beleza? Primeiro link na descrição, logo abaixo desse vídeo, é pro Hour em inglês profissional, combinado? E aí, quaisquer outras informações, eu vou deixar os meios de contato no chat, na descrição, para vocês entrarem em contato com a gente se quiserem também, se precisarem, beleza? A aula de hoje era para ser exclusiva dos alunos do Hour Inglês Profissional, mas a gente decidiu transmitir para fora, para que vocês possam sentir o gostinho também, e o Arthur vai cuidar de vocês como ele cuida da plataforma. Valeu! I can't hear you.
Me too.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can hear you. Yes. There you go.
All right. So, para o pessoal do YouTube, a gente faz boas porções dessa aula em inglês, tá? Então, não se assustem se vocês ouvirem muita interação em inglês aqui. So, like I was saying, guys, the theme for tonight is human resources. And I'm very excited to talk to you about this theme because I think it's very interesting and it gives us a lot of insights. So, human resources, recursos humanos, all right? Let's start by talking about the concept, okay? So, human resources itself. What do you guys understand by human resources? Try to define it. Who wants to try and define it? In a simple way, in a nutshell. First thing that comes to your mind.
It's a department of company that care our employees, helping us to with documents and regularments and proceedings. What else? Salary.
Yes. Yep. Yeah, it's very broad, right? Now,
Yes.
Gabriel, you have no idea how happy I am with the definition you gave me. Now, because not because it's 100% right, it's not wrong. It's not wrong, but it is a very narrow definition, and I really wanna talk from there. Okay, so you guys heard what Gabriel said. He said human resources is the department that takes care of people stuff in general, right? That's human resources. Now, is that all? Does anyone else want to give a definition? If not, I'm going to move on. Look, let's read this definition right here. Human resources is the set of people who make up the workforce of an organization, business sector, industry, or economy. A narrower concept is human capital, the knowledge and skills which the individuals command. So before I explain this definition here, I will just talk about some of the terms that we have there. The first one is make up. To make up something is like to form or to sum, you know. So, for example, se eu quero falar assim, essas são as 3 pessoas que formam o departamento. You can say those are the 3 people that form the department, or you can say those are the 3 people that make up the department. Okay, so that's where that phrasal verb comes from. It's funny because you can use makeup to talk about 2 people that are actually making up, you know, like kissing and hugging and, you know, exchanging saliva. But it's not the way it's being used here. To make up is actually to build up something. So, and then we also have narrower right there. And the word narrow is something thin. We even have the font, right? The font that we use here. It's actually being used right now. Arial narrow, right? Something that's narrow. It's something narrow is something that's very thin. It's skinny. It's lean. When we talk about concepts, something narrow is something exclusive, right? So if you want to be a little more exclusive, that's what it's being said here. A narrower concept is human capital, the knowledge and skills which the individuals command. So what is being said here? Human resources is the set of people. First, the first thing that we know is when we talk about human resources, we're talking about people, right? And those people, they make up the workforce of an organization, as Gabriel said, but Gabriel said that it's the department. We're going to talk about that in a minute. That set of people, they make up the workforce of the organization or a specific business sector. So you don't necessarily need to be talking about a company, an industry, or the workforce of the economy. And if you want to narrow it down a little bit, you will see that human resources does not deal with people alone. It does not deal only with people. It deals with the concept of human capital. What is human capital? The knowledge and skills that the individuals have. So if we want to be very, let's say, if we want to be very broad about the definition, if you have 10 people in your company, that means absolutely nothing without their skills, their knowledge, their experience. So when you talk about human resources, you are not talking about the human being, you know, the human resources you have in your organization, business sector, industry, or economy is the benefit that those people bring. It's not just the person, you know, the resource is actually the knowledge that the person has, the skill that the person has, the experience that the person has, and the benefit that they bring to the table. You know what I mean? It's not just the person, you know, It's what they bring to the table. Those are your resources. Those are your resources. That's why when you're a boss, or when you're a manager or a supervisor, you hire some people and you don't hire others, you know? So human resources is way more than the department. And that's why I liked Gabriel's definition, because that's what everybody says. You ask, what is HR? HR is the abbreviation, right? What is HR? What is HR? O que é RH? Você pergunta para a pessoa, o que é RH? Primeira coisa que vem na cabeça dela, é o departamento que trata dos BO, né? That's RH. But HR, the professional concept of human resources, is the workforce and the skills, knowledge, and experience that the people bring to the table. So you have financial resources, your money, right? You have some intangible resources, like some intangible assets, as we talked before, like your name, your position in the market, you know, and you have human resources, the people, you know, that's human resources. Now, talking about the department, now that's where Gabriel jumps in. The human resources department, or HR department of an organization, performs human resource management, overseeing various aspects of employment. To oversee means to supervise. So the human resources department supervises the aspects of employment. They take care of people, you know. That's what the department is responsible for. Now, if I ask you, what is the human resources department in your company? Technically speaking, all of them are human resources departments because all of them need people. But there's one specific department that takes care of the issues concerning specifically people. You know, you have the department that takes care of sales, the department that takes care of whatever, marketing, the department that takes care of engineering, and you have the department that takes care of people. That's the human resources department. But all the departments are made up by people. All of them are made up by human resources. I'm a human resource. You're all human resources, okay? Okay, now, some similar terms that are used. Agora a gente pode falar um pouquinho em português, olha só. Alguns termos similares que são utilizados quando a gente fala de human resources, e aqui não falando sobre o departamento, falando sobre as pessoas, lembre, recursos humanos são pessoas, recursos humanos não é só o departamento. Manpower, a gente fala muito de manpower, you know, I don't have enough manpower, eu não tenho mão de obra o suficiente, ou personnel, you know, é muito usado também, vocês vão ouvir muito em séries, o pessoal usa bastante. Associates, agora eu coloquei aqui a tradução de associates como colaboradores, pelo seguinte motivo. Associate, a tradução direta de associate não é colaborador. Associate é um associado, colaborador em inglês é collaborator, como todos vocês sabem. Porém, no meio do RH, da área de RH, de Human Resources, aconteceu um fenômeno interessante. Aqui no Brasil, a palavra empregado ou funcionário, essas palavras elas começaram a, em alguns ambientes, ganhar uma conotação um pouco, entre aspas, negativa, mas entre aspas, porque as pessoas, eu acho que queriam dar usar um termo que fosse um pouco menos pejorativo e que colocasse o funcionário da empresa numa posição um pouco mais relevante do ponto de vista etimológico, né? E aí começou-se a dizer muito colaborador. Então, você não fala mais funcionário, você fala colaborador, né? Você não fala mais empregado, você fala colaborador. Em inglês aconteceu um fenômeno parecido. Só que a palavra que usa-se em inglês é a palavra associate. Associate, ok? Então, quando você não quer falar nem employee, não é? Nem nenhuma outra palavra que signifique algo similar, você usa associate. É um fenômeno aí do RH. Então, começando agora com termos que são pertinentes a essa área das empresas, a área de RH. Business Day. Who wants to try to define what Business Day is? Anybody? What do you think a business day is? Nobody? Okay, then. A business day means any weekday other than Christmas Day, Good Friday, or any bank holiday. Business day, olha só, é dia útil. Business day, então, quando nós falamos business day em inglês, nós estamos falando sobre dias úteis. Por que que eu trago esse termo numa aula sobre termos de RH? Ora, porque quando você vai perguntar se no feriado tal a empresa vai emendar ou não, você vai perguntar no RH, né? Então é por isso. Aqui, olha só. Então, dia útil significa qualquer dia da semana que não seja Natal, a Sexta-feira Santa ou qualquer feriado bancário. Now, look, see that definition is very American. They don't have as many holidays as we have in Brazil. You know, we can't even begin to count how many holidays we have a year here in Brazil. You know, every month we have at least one, except for what, August? Is it August? The only month that has no holidays. But all of the others, you know, January and February, wow, we barely work, you know? So that's why they can say that in English that a business day is a weekday other than Christmas Day, Good Friday, or bank holidays. For us, it's a business day would be any weekday other than holidays, you know, and holidays, as you know, feriados, right? So any weekday that does not have holidays in it, or a weekday that is between a holiday and a weekend, a day of the weekend. So for example, if your holiday is on Thursday, then Friday is not going to be a business day as well. You know, it's a little shameful to say that, right? But that's the way it is. Bank holidays are very common in the United States too. Holidays that are just for bank employees. Okay, so that's a business day. So for example, the rates will be set on the 5th business day of each month. As taxas serão definidas no 5º dia útil de cada mês. Então, quando você estiver interagindo a respeito de dias úteis, não é? Eu recebo no 5º dia útil. I get paid on the 5th business day, for example. Ok? Ou então aqui, ó. I normally ship within 2 business days of receiving payment. Eu normalmente envio dentro de 2 dias úteis após o recebimento do pagamento. Essa palavra aqui, ship, eu sei que muitas pessoas conhecem ela como navio, mas é uma palavra que na língua inglesa se tornou também um verbo, já que as entregas no começo dos tempos eram feitos aí também de navio, né? Principalmente na época do surgimento da língua inglesa. Então, colou e ficou, entendeu? Ship. Então, normalmente...
On e-commerce, yeah. It's common use shipping too.
Yes, in Brazil, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it is common. Yeah, it is common. We talk a lot about shipment, right? Que é o envio. Yeah, we say that a lot. You're right. So I normally ship within 2 business days of receiving payment. Agora eu quero falar um pouco sobre essa palavra aqui, within, porque ela é muito bacana. Eu nem, na verdade, planejei dar muita ênfase a ela, mas pensando bem aqui, ó, quando a gente fala within, a gente usa essa palavra para falar sobre o tempo dentro do qual alguma coisa vai acontecer. Então, é muito comum ouvir as pessoas falando assim, ó, I will be there in 2 days. Eu estarei lá em 2 dias. I will be there in 2 days. É comum que se ouça as pessoas falando isso. Não está necessariamente errado, mas o mais correto, assim, o ideal é usar essa palavra, within. I will be there within 2 days. Dentro de 2 dias. É o que vai acontecer dentro dos próximos 2 dias, ok? Então, essa é a palavra business day. Importantíssima aí no meio de RH. Now, who wants to try to define what full-time means? What does full-time mean? Anybody?
So in my work, I usually when I will work all day,
Okay.
all day, or another expression when I use opposite is part-time when I work half time.
Hold it.
Oh, sorry.
You're getting ahead of yourself. We're gonna get there. Don't you guys hate when you're teaching a class and somebody, says something that's gonna be in the class in advance? That's just horrible. But yeah, that's it.
Sorry.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just messing up with you. But that's true. So Mark works full-time and has 2 kids. Então, o Mark trabalha em tempo integral e tem 2 filhos. Repare que o full-time, ele é usado... Aqui eu coloquei sem, né? Sem o hífen. Mas quando ele é usado como adjetivo, né? O que eu quero... Perdão, como advérbio. E o que eu quero dizer com advérbio? Ele acompanha um verbo, né? Então, to work full-time, trabalhar em tempo integral. Aí você precisa colocar um hífen nele, não é? Então, Mark works full-time and has 2 kids. E aí, como o Gabriel disse, nós temos também o termo part-time, que ele faz um contraste com o termo full-time. E aí nós temos, he ran the business part-time until last January. He ran the business part-time until last January. Então, ele administrou o negócio em tempo parcial, part-time, espera que eu passei sem querer, part-time, until last January. Então, ele administrou o negócio em tempo parcial, ou seja, na metade do tempo, trabalhando somente meio período, que a gente chama, né? Até o último mês de janeiro. E aí, alguns comentários sobre essa frase. Primeiro, he ran the business. A gente já falou sobre isso, né? E a gente vai falar ainda bastante aí no decorrer do curso para que isso fixe, mas a expressão to run a business, ela é contraintuitiva, mas ela significa não literalmente administrar o negócio. Por que não literalmente? Porque o verbo to run significa correr, né? Se a gente usa ele, se você joga ele no Google Tradutor assim, to run, correr. Só que quando você fala sobre administrar um negócio, sobre, tipo assim, ser a pessoa que está à frente de um negócio, né? Sobre ser a pessoa que manda, digamos assim. A gente usa o verbo to run para isso. E o passado dele é ran. Até para correr também. Se fala corri, I ran, né? E no sentido de administrar também. Então, he ran the business part-time. He ran the business part-time until last January. Bastante atenção aqui, que meses em inglês. Então, assim, para quem está aprendendo inglês agora, isso não é importante. Para você que vai escrever um e-mail para uma empresa em inglês, January, meses do ano, letra maiúscula. Em português não tem, letra maiúscula, em inglês tem, ok? Então, full-time e part-time. Avançando, esse aqui é interessante. O tipo de palavra que fala-se muito nas empresas, mas não todo mundo sabe o que isso quer dizer quando se fala, né? Mas não se pensa muito a respeito da definição. So, how would you guys define briefing? Except Gabriel. Not that I don't want you to talk. It's just that I want to give somebody else the opportunity to define it too. Hello, Yumi. How are you?
Hi, teacher. Hi, guys. Good evening.
Hi.
Briefing is a kind of a word to define a instruction of something.
Okay.
When you need to design something, you need a brief of the project, something like that.
Yes.
Arthur, nós não estamos te ouvindo.
Arthur, acho que deu probleminha no som.
Oi. Escutam? Okay. No, I was just saying that Yumi is perfectly right. She's correct. You guys heard what she said. She said that when you call people for a briefing on something, you're calling people to give instructions about something. Now, we have to be very careful not to make a mess between the words briefing and meeting. There's a difference between a meeting and a briefing about something. When you have a meeting, quando você tem uma reunião, it can be a meeting of instructions. It can be that. However, a briefing is normally shorter, okay, than a meeting. And a briefing is typically a one-way conversation in which information is given to one or more people, while a meeting is a two-way exchange information, you know? So when you're at a meeting, a lot of people talk, more than one person talk, you know? But a briefing is normally a one-way conversation. I give the instructions, you guys are gonna hear me, and it's gonna be short. That's a briefing, you know? Very good definition, Yumi. So look, the employees received initial safety briefing. The employees received initial safety briefing. Os empregados receberam instruções iniciais de segurança. Aí, uma coisa interessante sobre esse termo, bom, primeiro a gente tem ali o verbo to receive, né, que é receber, e uma coisa interessante sobre esse termo briefing é que a gente já anglicanizou ele, né? Então, tipo, ele virou um termo, tem uma expressão para isso que agora me foge à mente. Quando a palavra em inglês, ela acaba virando a palavra para todas as línguas. Então, tipo, assim como a gente fala, me ajuda, por exemplo, e-mail. Como a gente fala e-mail, não é? Que é um termo em inglês, e-mail, é electronic mail, né? É uma mensagem eletrônica, a gente não traduziu para mensagem eletrônica, essa palavra ela foi adaptada para todas as línguas. A palavra briefing está nesse processo, então vamos fazer um briefing aqui sobre o próximo projeto, é muito comum que se escute isso. E aí, ó, I have a staff briefing now, I have a staff briefing now, eu tenho um briefing de equipe, ou seja, eu vou chamar a minha equipe para um briefing neste momento. Very good, very good. I think the next one is a little difficult. Severance pay. Does anybody have any idea what severance pay is? Anybody? So I'm going to try and explain it, okay? And you guys try to tell me if that has ever happened in your lives. A severance pay, now the concept of severance pay is the compensation or, well, and/or, it can be both. It's the compensation or the benefits an employer provides to an employee after the employment period is over, after the contract is over. Severance packages can include like extended benefits, like let's say in the United States, it's very common when an employee leaves a company, it's very common for the employee to continue in the health insurance, for example, or they get some money from the government, or in the case of Brazil, if you are, let's say, if you're laid off from your job, you can still be paid, but by the government for like 6 months, you know, those benefits or the money you get from the company, the money that the company has been investing in you for, well, during the time you've been working there, then you get that money at once when you leave the company. You guys know what I'm talking about. Those things are severance pays, you know. All of that is included in the concept of severance pay. So to be in a nutshell, it's the compensation that the employer gives to the employee after the contract is over. What is that? What am I talking about? You can talk, Gabriel. No. Tassiele, she looks like she's thinking. Do you want to say something, Tassiele?
I don't know if I'm right, but it's and I don't know even how to say that in English, but it's I don't know how to say in English.
Well, it's probably severance pay.
Yeah.
Yes. Try to describe in a nutshell what you're thinking.
When an employee is quick of the company, and he has the payment about all the years he spent on the company and other things.
Pode definir em português agora.
Todos os pagamentos que o funcionário recebe quando ele sai da empresa, o seguro-desemprego, talvez também, indenização.
Seguro-desemprego está dentro. Seguro-desemprego está dentro, entendeu? O Severance Pay, na verdade, ele abrange todos os benefícios que o funcionário recebe no momento que ele deixa a empresa. Isso é Severance Pay. Então, aproveite e dá uma lidinha nessa frase aí, já que a gente está conversando.
The exact amount of the severance pay is set by a collective agreement.
Very good. Very, very good. Então, olha só, o valor exato da indenização, eu coloquei aqui indenização por demissão, só porque eu não consegui pensar em um termo melhor, mas é uma indenização. O severance pay é uma indenização que é recebida quando se sai de uma empresa, não é? Então, olha aqui, ó, the exact amount, o valor exato, essa palavra amount, inclusive ela está lá no nosso dicionário lá de termos de negócio, tem alguns usos dessa palavra aí. The exact amount of the severance pay is set. E aqui, não sei se vocês sabiam, mas esse verbo, o verbo to set, primeiramente, ele não tem variações na morfologia dele. Então, não existe, mas ele não muda. Set no passado, no particípio, é tudo igual. Set no presente é set, no passado é set, no particípio é set. E ele é um dos verbos com maior número de definições. Eu acho que ele é o verbo com maior número de definições em inglês, mais até do que o get. Eu acho que esse verbo tem umas 400 definições diferentes. Todas são de alguma forma interligadas e dá para entender meio que por intuição. Mas assim, aqui set, né? E normalmente a gente também usa o set com o up. A gente fala muito setup, não é? Que inclusive dá nome a configurações. Ele está sendo usado da seguinte maneira: o estabelecimento de alguma coisa. Então, por exemplo, estabelecer, definir, decidir, arranjar, entende? Então, the severance pay is set, or is defined, or is agreed on, or the severance paid is, well, I think I gave all the definitions I could think of right now. By a collective agreement. Por um acordo coletivo. Collective, coletivo, agreement, acordo, né? Vem diretamente do verbo to agree, que é concordar. Agreement ali, né? Acordo. Beleza. Agora vamos para um pouquinho mais fácil, mas como vocês sabem, as you guys know, I like you guys to define things. I like you to define things. How would you guys define the verb to promote? In a human resources sense, because you can use the verb to promote, like, for example, I want to promote my brand. I want to promote my company to more people. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about promoting in a human resources sense, okay? How would you guys define it? Does anybody want to define the verb to promote? Dimitri?
To promote is having, when you get a promotion, when you are an employee and you get the management role in the company, or when you're basically in a rank and you get the upper side of the rank, you get a promotion and a promotion. Okay. I think it's that. I'm not sure.
Yes, very good. Very, very, very good. Dimitri, you are right. So the verb to promote means, well, if I were to define it, I would say it's like to advance or to raise somebody to a higher position or to a higher rank. In the case of a company, like Dimitri said, it's when you are in a position and you get management position, for example. It doesn't necessarily need to be a management position, of course. That's the example that Dimitri gave, which is right, which is good. But it's just you're in a position and you go to a higher position, okay? You raise to a higher position. So I was promoted to a new position. Eu fui promovido a um novo cargo. Inclusive cargo, posição, vaga, tudo isso é a mesma palavra, position, tá bom? Quando você estiver falando sobre a empresa. E aí, ó, the director promoted her to head of department. Então, o diretor a promoveu a chefe do departamento. Esse head of é extremamente comum dentro das empresas, né? Eu não sei se vocês já trabalharam em alguma empresa que usava muitos termos ingleses, startups fazem muito isso. Ah, ela é a head aqui do departamento. E aqui é engraçado que muitas pessoas ainda acham que esse head é head de vermelho. Primeiro que estaria errado, porque é red, né? Mas é head de cabeça mesmo, a cabeça do departamento, do ponto de vista de ser aquela que controla tudo, né? So the director promoted her to head of department, ok? E aí você pode usar essa expressão head of para falar, por exemplo, she's head of sales, né? Ela é a cabeça das vendas. He's head of HR. Mas um pouco mais incomum, né? Mas você pode usar essa expressão também. E aí, é claro, nós temos a palavra promotion, que vem direto do verbo to promote. Olha só. It's just not realistic to expect a promotion so soon. It's just not realistic to expect a promotion so soon. Não é realista esperar uma promoção tão cedo, ok? E aí, cedo aí, só para falar. Alguém aqui consegue me dar a diferença entre as palavras soon e early, que traduzem da mesma maneira? Somebody?
To
It's
me,
kind of
at least, to me, is like soon is when you're expecting something to get soon. Early is more about the time frame, like early morning is the beginning of the morning. You don't
Yes,
say the soon of the morning. You say early
yes,
morning, the early of the day, and so on.
yes. Very good, very good. Now, there's more to that. There's more to that. It's not just that, it's correct. So for example, when you say early, you mean the opposite of late, right? You can talk about early in the morning and late in the night, late in the evening, for example. You think of early, you think about the moment that the sun rises, and late, the moment that the sun sets. However, there's more to that, because the words, lembre-se, as palavras early e late não significam só cedo e tarde. Early e late também significa adiantado e atrasado. Então, você pode pensar em early como antes do esperado, cedo, né, como a gente entende cedo, ou antes do esperado, e late como depois do esperado. Agora, soon, tem essa ideia que você falou mesmo, de esperar que algo aconteça. A gente está falando, quando a gente diz soon, a gente está falando cedo, mas é porque não tem uma palavra que traduza no português, algum momento próximo do presente no futuro. Algum momento próximo do presente no futuro. That is soon, okay? That's the definition. At some moment in the near future. E aí tem duas maneiras de você dizer ser promovido em inglês, não é? Ganhar uma promoção não é muito comum na língua portuguesa, mas eu coloquei aqui para traduzir ao pé da letra. Em inglês, ambas expressões são intercambiáveis. Então você pode falar he got a promotion ou he was promoted, não é? Ele ganhou uma promoção, ele foi promovido. Aí she got a promotion, she was promoted. Tassiele got a promotion, Dimitri was promoted, I have been promoted, he's gotten a promotion, e por aí vai. Você pode usar ambas as expressões, ok? E aí, para fazer um contraponto, we have the verb to demote. To demote. Who wants to define the verb to demote? Anybody there? Okay, Yumi. I had the feeling you were gonna ask. You were gonna raise your hand, Yumi. Yumi, where are you?
Sorry.
There
To
you
demote is for position. Maybe you are senior in some position in work, and you to demote to you down. I don't know how to explain.
That's it. That's it. It's perfect. It's correct. Thank you, Yumi. To be demoted or to demote means to give someone a lower rank. So in one hand, you have to promote, which means to raise someone to a higher position. But then you have to demote, which means to give someone a lower rank, you know, to put someone in a lower position, a less senior position. That usually happens as punishment or a lack of performance. For example, he was demoted from his position. Ele foi rebaixado. É isso que significa to demote, é rebaixar, ok? Então, for example, Fluminense was demoted, né? Não, na verdade, demoted. A gente pensa na expressão rebaixado em português, a gente pensa muito em futebol, né? A gente não fala muito isso no contexto de trabalho, né? No Brasil, a gente demite, a gente não rebaixa. Mas nos Estados Unidos é comum. Inclusive, eu tô falando isso de nenhuma maneira para me engrandecer, mas meio que é. Eu cheguei a virar supervisor do meu antigo supervisor. So he was demoted, I was promoted. That was not fun for him. So we have a more complicated sentence here. 3 teams are promoted and 3 teams demoted from each division each year, depending on the circumstances. 3 teams are promoted and 3 teams demoted from each division each year, depending on the circumstances. 3 equipes são promovidas e 3 rebaixadas de cada divisão a cada ano, dependendo das circunstâncias. Aqui é um pequeno comentário sobre essa palavra aqui, circumstances. Prestem bastante atenção na minha pronúncia. A gente fala circunstância, né? Don't say circumstances. It's not circumstance. Circumstances. Circumstances. Close your lips when you say the letter M. Circumstances. Circumstances. So 3 teams are promoted and 3 teams demoted from each division each year, depending on the circumstances. Okay? Então, 3 equipes promovidas e 3 rebaixadas, dependendo das circunstâncias. E aí, como nós temos o verbo to demote e a palavra promotion, nós temos também o verbo to demote e a palavra demotion, ok? The team now almost certainly faces demotion. A equipe agora quase certamente enfrenta rebaixamento, ok? Now, those terms are, we didn't finish yet. Stay right there, okay? But those terms, they are, they're HR terms, but listed at an introductory way, because if you go to the course, let me show you guys. If you go there to the course, you will see that, just a second. No, not here. Here. I have created a topic on human resources, okay? So this is an introduction to human. So we have an introduction to the concept. We have the explanation of the introduction, words about working time, the verbs that you use in human resources, dealing with employees, recruitment, and that's just the beginning. So that's new. That's a new topic. So I think you guys have not seen it yet. So this is an introductory class, so that you guys can study that topic later, all right? Just to finish the class here, not to finish the class, but the last thing of the class that I want to say is human resources is probably not the department you guys work in, as I know you. I think I know what everybody does here. And I don't think any of you guys are HR officers. However, HR is something that the department, the HR department is a department that every single employee deals with. And it's something that is very important for you guys to study if you want to work in English. Just to end the class, I want to have a more, more fun moment here, so that we can interact. And I want to challenge you guys to tell funny stories about or experiences. It doesn't need to be funny. Experiences you guys had in HR. And if you didn't have any, just you don't need to share, but I'm going to start. You guys are going to think I'm lying, but I'm not. Okay. There was this one time that when I worked on the ship, I was called to HR. It was the first time in my life that I was called to HR, and it was not my fault. You guys know that HR takes care of human stuff, right? And there was a rule that was established by HR when I worked on the ship. And the rule was this: you needed to have a maximum. There was a limit, let's put it this way, that there was a limit in the amount of alcohol that you could have in your blood, okay, in order to be working during the day. And look, I don't drink. Just ask my wife. I only drink Coke. But there was this one day that I was working, and I was working in the liquor shop, and I was there, and we were having a free taste of, I think it was a cognac, or it was some kind of liqueur there. I think it was cognac. We were having free taste for the clients, we say clients because they're clients of the ship, but for the guests to come and try and taste, they would come and taste the cognac to see whether they wanted to buy it or not. Well, I tasted one shot with one of the clients, and that was the limit that I was allowed to taste, not because I wanted to, because I don't drink, honestly. It was just to make an interaction with the guests, but there was this other guy working there with me too. And every other time when someone was not looking, when nobody was looking, he would, have a sip of the cognac. Like he started drinking, during work, during work time. It was a business day. He was working and he started drinking. So somebody reported to the HR. By the way, this is an important verb importante, to report, reportar. Okay. Somebody reported that he was drinking, and HR called both of us. They called both of us. So that was the only time that I was called to HR in my life. They made blood tests in both of us. Of course, I had alcohol in my blood, but it was not, it was not above the limit. It was just because the limit that I tasted with the guests in the event. But the other guy, he was smashed. And, he was from Romania. He was fired, and we were in France that day. We were arriving in France. And when we got to France, they flew him back to Romania. It was tolerance zero, to those kinds of things. So that's my HR. So that was the only time that I had to write a statement that I had not drunk, during work time and all those things. It was I was pretty desperate. I didn't want to be deported back to Brazil because some stupid guy that was drinking. So that's my sad HR experience. Does anybody have any? Have any of you guys been called to HR or sent anybody to HR before? Nobody? Nobody here works in HR. Do you? Right? Okay. Okay, so you guys are no fun. You just work well and you are not called to HR. Okay, just tell me something. Any new words today? What words did you guys not know before?
I was going to say that I find a little funny that we talk earlier about ship, right? And ship means shipment, sending stuff, and there's also a meaning to be invested in a romance, not your romance, but the romance of other couples. When you root for them, you can say, I ship them too. I think that's funny. So I wanted to share that.
Yeah. When you're rooting for a couple, right? I'm shipping them. You know what's funny? It came to Portuguese as eu shippo. And it sounds a little weird in Portuguese, but that's the way it is. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. So any new words, guys? New words, new concepts that you guys didn't know before? And you want to share? or you knew everything that we've learned tonight?
I didn't have a great sense of what severance pay was, but demotion, promotion, I knew.
Yeah.
Business days, I had a good idea because I buy a lot of stuff online,
Mhm.
and I even import things to myself. So I have bought some things on sites that are only in English. So I
Uh-huh.
knew business day or like dias úteis here. It's not
Business
the
days,
same
yeah.
thing, but it's similar.
Yeah, that's a guy that has a lot of dollars to spend. He imports stuff. Yeah. So,
Sometimes it's cheaper to import than buy
yeah,
here.
yes, it is. It is. Ok, guys. So, então, deixa eu só fazer um comentário final em português mesmo aqui. Bom, como eu falei, o tema dessa aula foi um tema introdutório para que vocês explorem aquele tópico sobre Human Resources. Tem muito mais termos lá e eles estão divididos realmente por seção. Então, nós temos Human Resources, aquilo que tem a ver com RH no sentido de tempo de trabalho, os verbos mais usados, como lidar com quais são as palavras que se usam quando se lida com os funcionários, palavras usadas em recrutamento, que são palavras importantes tanto para o recrutador quanto para o recrutado, né? Para o potencial recrutado. E é isso. Para o pessoal que está assistindo aí no YouTube, o nosso curso de inglês profissional, ele é assim, ele é bem interativo, a gente tem aulas que tem a ver com negócios, semana que vem a gente vai ter apresentação de projeto, né, os alunos vão apresentar um projeto sobre business models, né, modelos de negócios aqui, vai ser muito interessante. Estou muito animado para assistir esse projeto, e se você ainda não faz parte aqui da plataforma do inglês profissional, faça parte com a gente, venha aqui se tornar um profissional raro. Mais uma vez, pessoal, Tassiele, Gabriel, Raquel, Dimitri, Matheus, Yumi, muito contente de tê-los aqui. Obrigado pela participação de todos. Vocês são sensacionais, vocês são muito inteligentes. Fiquem na paz aí. E a gente se vê, na verdade, na quinta-feira, porque vai ter uma aula de boas-vindas. E aí, se vocês quiserem participar também, vocês que já são mais antigos podem participar. É isso aí, pessoal. Any final comments? Does anybody want to say anything? Alguém quer dizer algo? No? Ok. Ok, pessoal. Então, boa noite, fiquem na paz aí e tamo junto. Bons estudos.
See you guys.
See you guys. Bye bye.